everybody.
Good evening.
Thanks. I'd like to welcome everybody this evening. We are all honored that you came to celebrate the Andrea Bocelli Foundation. 10 years of excellent work. And at this point, I'd like to hand this off to my daughter Megan, who was the architect to put this together. So.
Yay.
I wrote everything down so I wouldn't forget. Thank you all so much for coming this evening in support of the Andrea Bocelli Foundation. This year, the Andrea Bocelli Foundation celebrates its 10th anniversary of initiating, funding, and supporting an innumerable amount of humanitarian projects to help the most vulnerable of populations realize their full potential. My family and I have been fortunate enough to be welcomed into the Andrea Bocelli Foundation family 5 years ago, when my dad and I had the opportunity to travel to Laiatico, Italy in September of 2016 and spend the most enjoyable evening with the Bocelli family, their friends, and their guests. The room was electric with love, happiness, and above all, dedication and commitment to a very special cause. This evening's aperitivo is a night to bring friends and families together to learn more about the fantastic work the foundation has done in the last 10 years and all of the exciting new projects and promises that are to come in the decades to follow. The Andrea Bocelli Foundation supports multiple projects all throughout Italy and across the globe. They help people in communities stricken with poverty, illiteracy, and distress due to illness and social exclusion. By working together, ABF has built schools, hospitals, funded water trucks, and so much more to break barriers and provide relief to the most urgent matters and challenges that face so many at-risk communities. The funds raised this evening will be going toward a new project of rebuilding the San Ginesio Vocational School in Marche, Italy, a region of Italy that was devastated during the 2016 earthquake. I would like to now pass this over to Veronica. She's going to speak about the project and all of the wonderful work the foundation has accomplished and plans to accomplish these last 10 years and for decades to come.
So first of all, I would like to thank you all, but especially you, with the simple words that makes a lot of sense for us, which is grazie. It sounds, important to our heart because he's one of the first, world you know since you're very little, as we have 2 little kids in the room. And you've been amazing. You said a lot of incredible things, and now speaking after you is not easy. Okay, but I'll do my best. Let's say when I met Andrea 20 years ago, he was the kind of man who always said yes whenever there was a need. Because he always reminded me that we're seated on the lucky side of the world. And being able to help is a little bit like being in a dinner when everybody's hungry and you're the only one eating. There's no choice. There's no joy. You cannot, if you don't share, there's no joys in life. And no matter which religion you pray, it's something that just really comes from your heart. And this is what we try to teach to our kids too. Here we have Virginia, who's always with us, and who has visited a lot of places in the world, which are with a lot of kids less fortunate than us, and you know them. And the good thing is to try to give them a chance to see what's their talent. Along these past 10 years, we started to work in Haiti 20 years ago, but as a foundation, as a family first, and as a foundation since 10 years. And what the result that is achieved has been very important. But as Andrea always say, there's a lot more to do. And alone you can do a lot, but together you can do a lot more. That's why it's important to gather together and to learn more about each other, to know which is the kind of project that can be dear to your heart. Andrea is always focused as a mission in education, because he really believes that education is the only way to be not on the same level, to have the same opportunity to develop the skills you have. I come from a family where most of them were teachers, exactly as you are. So we're gonna soon listen to students, and that's the future. Students are really the one that makes our world different in a good way. I can tell you a lot of things in terms of number, which usually are not interesting at all. I can tell you we raised over 40 million during the past 10 years. we give education, luckily, thanks to a lot of support, to 207, sorry, in numbers in English for me are difficult, so I try to say that in Italian. Almost 3,500 kids every day, and especially in the fourth world, give education doesn't mean to really give a book or a teacher. It means to give them food so that they're able to reach the school, give them the dress to go, otherwise they won't be able to even come.
Yep.
So there's a lot to take care, and the schools are really an excuse more than anything else to gather them together and to give them the help they need. As exactly you were saying before, in 2016, unfortunately, Italy has been eaten, Marche, where I'm from, the region where I'm from, has been eaten by a very bad earthquake. And that's the moment we decided to be more helpful for our own country, because it was really in need. So we built 3 different schools, and then we've been asked by the Minister of Education, and they called us and they said, you know how to do it, will you do it for us? And I said, it's a good thing, on the other side scary. It means the state sometimes is not able to do by himself. It needs some help by the private. And you as American, you taught the rest of the world how to make it happen. So we still are young in these things, and we need to learn from you a lot. What I can say is that thanks also a lot from American donors, we have been able to achieve the result, and now we're going into building the 4th school, which is going to be no longer for the very young kids, but for students who are going to be together to learn how to learn a job for the future. It's going to be beautiful. You have to come and visit us. I know it because those people who's going to make it are already working night and day to make it happen. And the school in that kind of place became really the center of the community, because there's nothing left. They don't even have a place to gather together and to study and to pray. So restoring the heart of the community, which is the school, allowed the family to be able to stay where they were born. And so I want to go straight to the point and ask you to be, generous as you are. I'm going to be at disposal for any information you need more. I don't want to be too long, because my husband always say you need to do things, not to speak about things. But I'm female, so I have to deal with that no matter what. So again, I want to thank you, Marion, and the family all, because I'm sure to put this together took a lot of effort. It's our first time in the United States we're doing something like this, but the other time you did it here in Pittsburgh. So here we are at disposal, happy to try to be helpful. I think I see my husband right there, so I'm sure he came to see you, to meet you, and also to listen, something that I think is a surprise. Am I right? So we may want to have Andrea coming so that we go to the next point. Thank you very, very much.